Hello, great to have you join us again on Power Wheel, the public enlightenment program by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, on Nigeria's electricity supply sector, its myriad of challenges and efforts at solving them. I am Sheung Olagunju. You're welcome. The governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, has assured the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, a fruitful partnership between it and the state, promising to give TCN all the support it needs in upgrading its facilities in Edo State. Mr. Obaseki gave the assurance when TCN's management, headed by the interim managing director, Usman Good Mohammed, paid him a visit at the Edo State Liaison Office in Abuja.
The governor urged TCN to execute the project with all seriousness and sincerity, requesting information on the specific transaction it needs to get into, setting up teams to execute the project within a timeline, and also spelling out penalty in case of defaulting.
The federal government is working hard at source the financing to strengthening the transmission backbone of Nigeria. Edo plays a significant role in that backbone. I want to assure you that you have a partner in the government of Edo State.
TCN MD and CEO Usman Goro Mohammed had earlier explained to the governor the important role Edo State play in the electricity supply chains, listing critical projects to be completed in the state to further strengthen the national grid and evacuate additional electricity from the ongoing Azura power station.
We do turn in, turn out 19 kilometers, but we need to collaborate with you on the right of way and how we are going to settle the compensation. We have written to the minister on emergency procurement of how we are going to go ahead. And I think given the time that they said they are going to complete, they will complete it towards the end of the year, but through testing and the rest is going to be ready around May next year. That's how Azura informed us.
He also spoke about the collaborating with the state government on issue of right-of-way, relaying the experience with the Kaduna state government in solving the same issue.
We are putting 2,400 megawatt cord on that line so that we provide all the needed redundancy that they need. So, because we are working for N-1 now. Everywhere we have capacity, we want to double that capacity so that if there's any problem, and that's the standard all over the world. So in that respect, we are needing your support also in that respect, because all those people who build under the right of way, we need your help to clear them. If not, there's no way we can rebuild that line.
We completed quite a number of them. The second Benin Onitsha line, a 330 kV line, it's been completed and commissioned into service. We have equally completed the compensation issues there. We equally did a third Benin Onitsha line between Benin and Onitsha. It's equally completed.
Because we realize the importance, we also have that commitment to ensuring that your grid or our grid works, that the upgrading that you're undertaking, provided it's done seriously and with sincerity, we will give you all the support you need, at least in our own location.
States under my coverage are River State, Bayelsa State, Abia State, Imo State, Akwa Ibom State, Cross River State, and part of Ebonyi State. The region is very significant to the national grid because there are a lot of generations around, scattered around in the Port Harcourt region. and this generation have to be transported to other parts of the country. So we have two major lines where these are being done. We have the Ikotekpene Ugwaji line that transport the power to Enugu, that is to the east. And then we have the one running from Luji to Onitsha that takes the power to that side of the country. The change management program of TCN, we are taking that along. Whatever we are doing, we are having that in mind, the vision and the mission of the company. That is done through teamwork, that is done through motivation of the staff, making the staff to understand the vision of the company and the mission of the company. Mission is how we have to achieve the vision of the company, and that is being passed across to the staff. My experience in the power sector is really going to impact on my operation as the general manager Port Harcourt region. I have worked as a project manager for almost 17 years under the World Bank project. And under the World Bank project, everything we embark on it as a project. So my coming here, I'm taking Port Harcourt region as a project. And as a project, deliverable, it works measures. So I'm going to deliver, I'm not going to fail with the project management background from the World Bank. There are a lot of challenges facing Port Harcourt region, and one of these is useful restiveness, aging equipment in the system, which we have to manage and to maintain. Then the issue of staffing is another one. Issue of transport. Like I told you, we cover so many states. To move around the state, we need a lot of vehicles to be able to do that, to maintain the system. And a lot of stations and equipment are coming up within the region. I'm hearing this notion that the TCN is a weak link in the power chain, but I don't subscribe to it because I see it as a diversionary tactics to divert TCN attention on the good work it's already doing, because TCN has a lot of investment. There's a lot of investment in TCN, and there are also plans to invest more, like the transmission expansion plan that the project management unit is currently doing. And like I tell people that the power sector has gone past passing box around, that this one is not performing, this one is not performing. The fact of the matter is that if generation is not generating, if transmission is not transmitting, and distribution is not distributing, the common man on the street cannot get power. And until the common man gets power, when he puts this on his or her switch in the house, then the power sector is not successful. But it has to be a synergy of the three power sector to be able to carry power to the people. And that is exactly what we are doing here. We had some development, some achievement within the region. We have been able to replaced some breakers. Some breakers we've been able to successfully carry out a counterpoise in our farm region. We've been able to rehabilitate some breakers, and we've been able to maintain line trace within the region in order to make sure that our lines don't trip unnecessarily due to vegetation or whatever. We've been able to carry out maintenance, scheduled maintenance, annual maintenance on our equipment.
The Kaduna State government is working in collaboration with the Transmission Company of Nigeria to expand power transmission capacity in Kaduna State and environs. To this end, the state governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, has made available plots of land in 3 different locations of the state to enable TCN build transmission substations in line with the company's transmission expansion plans in Kaduna. The plots of land located in the Kaduna Millennium City and Mashi villages would host 330 kV substations, while the third one, a 132 kV capacity substation, would be located in Kakol village.
While receiving the representative of the TCN MD during a one-day working visit to his office, the Director General of the Kaduna Geographical Information System, KAGIS, Malam Ibrahim Hussein, said the state governor directed that the land be made available following TCN's request to build more transmission substations in the state. He disclosed steps so far taken on the lands.
There was a meeting between management and His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir Ahmad El-Rufai, in which recommendations or requests were made by TCN for the establishment of substations in Kaduna State. We have processed the payment of compensation and forwarded to His Excellency. We are expecting his consent any moment from now. As soon as that is done, we will pay the compensation. But meanwhile, we have gone ahead to allocate the land for public interest to TCN.
TCN's GM Public Affairs, Seun Olagunju, while conveying the best wishes of the MD, disclosed that a lot has been achieved subsequent to the meeting with the Kaduna State Governor and raised concerns about the challenges faced by the company in acquiring land, encroachment and vandalism.
Once everything is on ground, this project will take off immediately because we already have the funds from the donors. We have the donor, the agencies, our partner agencies that are providing the funds. So everything is on ground for us to get started once everything is done from your own end. So, and he sends his appreciation. And we hope that other state governors and governments that we've approached for these kind of things will take a cue from what the Kaduna State government is doing.
The General Manager Transmission, Kaduna Region, Engineer Abdullahi Suleiman, also expressed appreciation to the Kaduna State government for its efforts at facilitating the commencement and execution of the project.
We have to appreciate the effort of the Ministry of Coal, the KAGIS, because even after allocating this land to us, they help us in surveying the routes our transmission lines will follow. Even where we're going to site our transmission towers, they have done it for us.
Briefing newsmen after the tour of the sites, Olagunju commended the efforts of the Kaduna State Governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and encouraged governors of other states to emulate the efforts of the governor towards improving the nation's transmission systems.
We just want to say thank you to the state government. We appreciate all they've done. It is a lot they have done. It is a lot they've taken off us, which is making our job much easier for us. So we want to say thank you. And we want to appeal to the residents of Kaduna to say that they should see this as their project. It is not government project. It is not TCN project. It is their project, because when light improves, the society to improve. They enjoy it as well. It is for everybody. So let them watch out and prevent vandals from feasting on whatever it is that we are putting on ground. And then, before you know it, once we end this thing, everybody will be happy for it.
Engineer Suleiman assured that TCN would quickly mobilize to site as soon as the land certificates are handed over to the company, adding that the proposed substation sites were at hazard-free locations and would increase transmission capacity to meet the increasing demands for electricity.
There will be a boost, an increase in the power transmission, because there will be around 300 MVA at Millennium City, while we'll have 120 MVA at Mashi Village and Kakao. So there will be a lot of increase in power supply. It will almost double.
TCN had proposed plans to establish new substations in various states to boost power transmission in the country, but the Kaduna State government is the first to make concrete and speedy efforts towards actualizing the goal.
You're watching Power Wheel. This is an initiative of the Transmission Company of Nigeria aimed at carrying you along in efforts of operators and stakeholders at making steady electricity available to households and businesses in Nigeria. The program continues shortly. TCN's MD CEO, Usman Gur Mohammed, has commended the managements of power generating companies for deploying free governor control mechanisms in their power plants, which have resulted in improved grid stability and reliability. With the deployment and effective operation of the generating units on free governor control action mode since May 22, 2017 by the power generating stations in compliance with the grid code, the system frequency has been within the operational limits of 4950 to 5050 Hz, with the potential of drastically reducing incidences of high frequency and system collapses. This is a remarkable milestone achievement in the history of the Nigerian electricity supply industry. TCN MD commended the collaborative efforts and sense of patriotism displayed by the management of the GENCOs, stating that the mechanism would also mitigate the negative effects of load underutilization. Now, in furtherance of his avowed commitment to ensuring stable power supply in the country, the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, has advised the system operation of the Transmission Company of Nigeria to redouble its efforts at optimizing performance at the National Control Center, NCC, Osogbo, Osun State. Mr. Fashola gave the advice when he visited the NCC to see firsthand the operations of the center.
Conducting the ministry round the center, TCN's head, Independent System Operator ISO, Engineer Musa Gumel, explained the workings and function of the center.
When they sample the generation capability of the power stations at 6 o'clock, now it will be put together. Then we apply the micro application formula for the discourse. Now we know what Abuja is supposed to get from that total number, what Enugu should get, what Ibadan, and so on. We now then instruct the generators to be on stream, to connect to the pool. Then every disco will now take this power as where it's resident. So it's not like you are bringing the whole energy here and redistributing. No, you instruct and then the load is picked up somewhere. So basically it's the management, and then we use the frequency with the main cursor to tell us we are in good shape with the frequency. Statutorily, it's supposed to be 50. Exactly, but we have plus minus 50.25, 49.75. That is the statutory limit. But because we have a problem with the generators that this regulation is not done, the government free action is not implemented, we had a lot of problems. We do it manually. Ideally, if all the governors are free, in free governor action, minute to minute, second frequency control will be done by them, and then my operators here don't have to shout.
What we have done in the interim, we said that the free governor is disturbing the system, and we should not be punishing those people who are providing free governor and then leave those that are not providing. So I have given them instruction that if there is need to ram those that are not providing free governor.
One other issue I think that is affecting management of the grid is the ancillary services contract. It needs to be made fully effective. That will be the basis of making sure that.
Mr. Fashola commended the expertise of the operators and charged them to produce more positive results through dedication or be penalized.
Clearly, you all seem to know what the problems are. What is important to government is that you go and do your work, solve the problems, or we will solve some things here. So we're just moving to a regime now where people must do their work, or there will be sanctions for not doing your work. So with the regulator, with your MD, with us as your policy makers, we need to see clear timelines. I want to have a memorandum that tells me all of what the steps are, who needs to do what, and how long it will take, so that we now then meet and agree to implement all those steps.
The Acting Director General of the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, NAPTIN, Mr. Ahmed Bolaji Nagode, says the institute is committed to the power sector development initiative of the federal government, saying it has a crucial and strategic role to play in providing quality training to the workforce and producing the personnel upon which the development of the sector rests. Mr. Nagode said this when he led his management team on a courtesy call to TCN headquarters in Abuja.
The NAPTIN acting managing director said the institute has trained no less than 12,000 graduate engineers drawn from all utility, including generation, distribution, and transmission. He stated that NAPTIN undertakes regular evaluation of its program and follow feedback from trainees, instructors, supervisors, and utility companies by constantly undertaking standardization of curriculum and teaching methodologies,
especially in programs delivery. The collaboration has led to 5 of NAPTIN key instructors. That is, we have a collaboration with MBT to achieve this standardization, accreditation, and certification of our program. So this collaboration has led to 5 of NAPTIN key instructors being certified as assessors, verifiers, and another 10 as assessors in an ongoing program, which we are presently undertaking. In conjunction with the MBTE, NAPTIN has developed a national occupational standard for some forefront trades in the power sector, which includes power system operations, electrical maintenance, power system protection, and I think these are really relevant to TCN. Turbine maintenance, mechanical auxiliaries, and electrical installations.
He further clarified that NAPTIN has continued to develop collaborations with international agencies to entrench both infrastructural development and pedagogically excellent, and soliciting TCN support in engaging successful trainee engineers in line with the present administration focus on job creation.
NAPTIN is currently working under a funding support of the French Development Agency, EFD, to evolve a new strategic plan which not only enhances vocational training in the country, but also promotes a developmental agenda for infrastructures throughout all the regional training centers of NAPTIN. This will place NAPTIN at the center of excellence for power vocational training. In the same vein, the German government under NESP, through GIZ, have been assisting NAPTIN in undertaking institutional development, training market assessment, and business scenario development.
TCN MD appreciated their visit as well as all effort in training engineers for the industry, futures, use, and promised total support to make NAPTIN a center of excellence as well as consideration of the recruitment requests.
Whatever it will take for us to make NAPTIN a center of excellence, we are going to do it. TCN is going to support you to do it.
And that's our package on Power Wheel for now. Please join us again next time. As we go, we'd like to let you know that it is not only very dangerous to build under high-tension wires, it is also illegal. The National Planning and Development Law prohibits building under the center line of overhead electricity wires. Protect your lives and freedom. I am Sheung Olagunju. Thanks for watching.